Yeah, I saw Night Swim tonight. We'll talk about it. I don't think there's a single human being on this planet that saw the trailer for Night Swim and said, that looks good. I think everyone knew it was going to be bad. So I got excited. It seemed like it could be fun bad. Aaron and I went and saw it tonight. It was fun bad to an extent. So if you don't know what Night Swim is, it's a haunted pool. Family moves into a house, their pool is haunted. They got a demon in the pool. And it's conceptually, I don't think you could come up with something more boring. That is such a lame idea for a horror movie. Just, ooh, spooky pool. I'd have to really struggle, like really try to think of a dumber concept for a horror film. Like a single haunted light bulb. Like over the staircase, one of the lights flickers because there's a demon. A lady fell down the stairs and died, and now she haunts the light because it was too dark to see, and now she can flick it on and off from time to time. That's basically the same fucking concept as this movie, in terms of how scary it is. It doesn't even really try. There's like 3 jump scares in the film, but they don't even bother setting up tension. They just make a loud noise 3 times and call it a day. It's so fucking boring. Does anyone care about spoilers? I don't know how many of you are planning on going to see Night Swim tomorrow. Just gotta hop in the car right now, scoot in sideways to check this puppy out. Don't want to ruin it for you, but it looks like most of chat is saying no. So, right away, we knew this was going to be special. We saw it in Dolby, which is basically like seeing it in IMAX, but with comfier chairs. It almost felt sacrilegious to even put Night Swim in the Dolby theater, the auditorium, because, man, it was something special. Aaron and I both love bad movies, so we both came to the conclusion that if we're going to see poop, we want it to stink. So we bought paid the extra price for Dolby to experience it. And I went in first, and I was like 15 minutes late, but usually that's fine because there's about 20 minutes of previews for most movies. This movie started instantly. They wanted to get you right into the action immediately. And Aaron was getting a drink because he thought he had time. And on his way in, he told me that a group of teenagers laughed at him on the way in to see Night Swim. And that really set the tone for the rest of the movie, honestly. It was embarrassing. It was shameful sitting there in Dolby watching Night Swim. So the story is, the dad was a former baseball star. Well, I don't even know if star is really the right word. He was a baseball player, major league player. He then came down with an illness, and the family relocates to this house that has this really nice pool. It's a really cool swimming pool, and they're super happy, and they get obsessed with the pool. But the pool's got a secret. It's got magic water, and the magic water is haunted by a fat guy. I'm not kidding. Like, that's the scare. The water has a fat, sloppy monster, and it's just a fat man that sometimes pop out and he goes, and the reason he's there is because that pool was once a spring, a magic spring that can grant a wish, but it comes at the cost of needing a sacrifice. So you're led to believe that like seaweed monster guy is one of the people that was sacrificed. Or basically he's kind of like the incarnation of the pool's evil. And so the dad is swimming in the pool and his illness is getting better, but his family starts seeing the fat guy. He's like in the drain one time, like the scene out of It, which you see in this trailer. And he's like the weakest monster ever. Like legitimately the weakest monster ever. This isn't even him, this is somebody else that came in for a single scene and never was saw again. Hold on. Wasn't it in the trailer where the kid sticks his hand in the drain? Because they borrowed that shot for shot out of It and did it significantly worse. And also, every single scare in the movie seems to be in the trailer. In everything it tries to do. And it doesn't even really try, to be fair. But yeah, it grants wishes, the dad starts feeling better, and he's kind of a douchebag. So his son wants to be a baseball star like him, and the dad wants his son to like bask in his glory, so he takes him to like baseball practice, and he's trying to teach his son to hit, and his son gets a hit and he's so proud, and he's like, that's a great hit, son, but don't worry, we'll work on it, because it could be better. And then the dad's like, let me show you how it's done. So he steps up to bat at the practice with these 8-year-olds, and he's like going through it. He's like, this is my moment. This is my fucking glory. And he fucking cranks a heater. And he hits a home run. And then he comes home and immediately starts relaxing in the pool again, which, again, summons the demon to his family. I guess he doesn't know that, but it doesn't matter. Because it's still so fucking silly how they wrote this guy. You're supposed to care about him, but he's just kind of an asshole. So one of the kids ends up getting his home run ball and asks him to sign it. And he's so proud, he signs the ball and he's like, hold on to that. It's going to be worth a lot of money one day. Because he believes the pool's going to get him back into baseball shape or whatever. I don't even know why I'm so fixated on this, because it's not important. Really, none of the story is. Pool just summons a couple of dead people occasionally and they go boo. It sucks. Movie fucking sucks. I don't even know how to really talk about it without just describing all of the worst scenes. It also has that standard horror cliche where it can possess people by getting into their mouth. So one scene, the dad gets the pool in him and then he gets possessed. So then he starts doing scary voice and like slapping his daughter. And then the daughter hits him with a baseball bat. And then it's just so dumb. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, I guess, but it's fucking terrible. Thanks for membership, Josiah. It's so boring too. Like, I'm making it sound much more entertaining than it is, because most of the film is just spent with them just idly swimming in the pool, or his dad reliving the glory days of being a baseball player. Spoil the ending, bro? Okay. After she hits him with the okay, I have to set up the scene. The dad's getting better, he's getting magically healed because the pool is actively drowning his son. The dad's possessed, so the pool is inside of him, the pool demon. And he's slapping his daughter around, trying to buy time so his son can drown. His wife is in the pool swimming to save her son. And it turns out her dad was a Navy SEAL and taught her how to be a Navy SEAL super swimmer, so she's swimming to the depths of hell, because inside the pool it goes to an alternate ocean dimension, so she's swimming to like the bottom of the abyss. Meanwhile, there's all these spirits of people that were sacrificed in the past for other people's wishes that kind of like yell at her, but they don't do anything to stop her. So she gets her son, brings him to the surface, and he's been down there for like 10 minutes by this point, but brings him to the surface and gives him CPR and revives him. And the dad comes out there after slapping his daughter a couple times, and then the daughter hits him with a baseball bat, and it makes him puke up the goo, this pool goo. And then immediately he delivers one of the worst lines I've heard in horror movies in quite some time. This had Aaron and I cackling. After doing his horror movie voice where he's talking about how Elliot, the son, has to die, and he gets hit by the baseball bat, then he just goes into like wimpy man mode and he starts whining and he goes, Elliot, you okay? Like, that's his last line pretty much too. And then he's like, I know what I have to do. In order to save Elliot, I have to go back in the pool and die. So he just swims out into the pool and disappears. And then it rolls credits. It's so stupid. His line wasn't, Elliot, are you okay? He says, is Elliot okay? But in like a really wimpy, whiny voice. You know, it almost sounds like he's blaming his wife for it. Like, what is going on here? What's happening? What are you doing to Elliot? I knew I couldn't trust him around you. But like really whiny. Just drain the fucking pool. You see, they thought of that though, because if they drain the pool has like a will of its own. So it doesn't stay drained, basically. It would fill itself back up with the original spring water. The mom visits the previous owner who sacrificed her daughter so her son could feel better. And she explains that the pool's water needs to kill, and then it'll sleep. So the only way to make it sleep was by the dad swimming out there and dying. Just sell the house. They can't leave because the pool won't let them leave. The pool gets into the dad's body, and then when they try and leave, he goes... He starts coughing and choking. So it would have killed him had they left. I made it sound far more enjoyable and action-packed than it is. Again, most of the film is just spent with them idly swimming in the pool and putting together the worst mystery ever. There's no reason why the pool doesn't just immediately drown Elliot in the first scene, by the way. Because the dad goes in the pool instantly. The dad goes in the pool, his wish is to feel better so he can be back to being a baseball player. And then pretty much right after that, Elliot is the next one who goes in the pool completely alone. It could have easily just killed Elliot right then and there, but inexplicably it decides not to. It waits until the mother figures out that the pool is evil before making its move. There's no reason for it at all. It could have done it right away. If the dad dies in the end anyway, why does it matter if he dies if they leave the house? Well, because after he pukes up the pool goo gets inside of Elliot. So then he needs to kill himself to save Elliot. So the autograph wasn't that good then. No. No, the autograph won't be worth anything in universe. Also, the scene after he signs that baseball, man, I'm getting into like the more useless scenes, but they're just so bad I can't help but talk about them. So he's not like outwardly disappointed that his son Elliot isn't as good at baseball as he is, but when he goes to practice to show off, the coach's son is really good. And he like fist bumps the coach's kid, and Elliot's clearly a little jealous, and then they throw a pool party at their house, and for some reason, the dad, Elliot, his dad, the main character, well, I guess he's not really the main character, but the baseball player, he starts talking to the coach's son as if it's his new son. Like, he basically adopts him. So he points at one of the other dads in the pool with a kid playing chicken, and he goes, hey, I don't remember his name. Hey, Junior, you think we could take them in a game of chicken? He calls him Steroid Shrek. He says, do you think we could take Steroid Shrek? And then he's like, yeah, we can take him. And it's like, why are you playing chicken with a kid that's not even yours? Elliot would love some father-son time, but instead, you're with the coach's son. So he straps the coach's son to his shoulder, they play chicken, and then he goes into the deep end of the pool, so he starts drowning, and then the pool goo gets in his body, this is how it infiltrates him, and then he tries to kill the child by grabbing onto his legs during chicken and drowning him. It's so stupid, it's so fucking stupid. It's a horrible scene. And then, like, the coach's dad jumps in, he's like, what the fuck are you doing, Ray? Ray, what are you doing? Let go of my son, you're drowning him. Ray, stop it. You didn't appreciate the movie? It's a metaphor, peasant. Yeah, it's a metaphor for don't swim, I guess. Oh, God, you just reminded me, in the very beginning of the movie, there's a pool guy who comes out because Ray cuts himself in the pool, and he's like, this is a weird one. So he calls out a pool guy to get the job done, and he's a real character. He's so quirky. He comes out and he starts leaning on the diving board, and he goes, pools. It's weird, right? This one's got like a natural spring attached to it. Never seen one in person. Isn't it interesting how we evolved from water, yet there's something deep inside of us that makes us afraid to go back. Maybe that's why we're so obsessed with taming water. And that's his whole statement, then he leaves. Never to be seen again. It's like the worst line ever written to be profound. So maybe the whole movie is a metaphor, perhaps. This is just the annual Blumhouse super stinker. I mean, it's January. I can't imagine a horror movie coming out the rest of the year that's worse than this. I don't think it's possible. Because again, it doesn't really have anything scary about it. It's very, very lame. Like, super, super lame. I know it's fuck you, it's January, but even still, this one's pretty awful even by that standard. Who the hell made this movie and what was the budget? The budget was probably like $2 million, and who made it is actually James Wan was one of the producers. Night Swim box office prediction, will it flop or succeed? My money's on succeed because it's a low budget. It's definitely less than 15 million. They're just speculating. It's 100% less than that. It's like the director went for a record in how many eyes they could roll. I don't think your eyes wouldn't even roll. You'd just be falling asleep. It's just bad. It's just not very good. There's fun bad moments, sure, but overall it's just kind of uninteresting. But yeah, that's the Night Swim review. Trash. But which everyone knew it was going to be. That's not shocking, but it's very, very bad. Worse than I expected it to be, for sure. What would I give Night Swim on the moist meter? Probably comfortably a 15%, I would say. I think 15% for Night Swim's fair.